Before you buy Roku, Fire TV, Nvidia Shield, or even the next Apple TV, wait for a second. Because Apple TV Ultra 2026 could change the whole decision. And I'm not saying that because it has a cool name. I'm saying it because if Apple builds this the right way, this will not be just another streaming box. This could be the one Apple device that connects your TV, your games, your Siri, your HomePods, your smart home, your cameras, your iPhone, and maybe even Vision Pro. So the real question is not, is Apple TV Ultra coming? The real question is, should you wait for it? That is what we are deciding today. I'm Zach Stone. This is ZST. And before we start, comment wait if you would wait for Apple TV Ultra. Comment buy if you would just buy another streaming box now. I want to see what people would actually do. All right, let's make this simple. If you only want Netflix, YouTube, and Disney Plus, you do not need Apple TV Ultra. Seriously, a cheaper box can do that. A smart TV can do that. A Roku can do that. A Fire TV can do that. So if Apple TV Ultra is only about streaming, then the product makes no sense. But that is exactly why I think Apple has to make it bigger. Apple TV Ultra has to be for people who want more than streaming. And that more starts with power. A normal streaming box is built to open apps. Apple TV Ultra should be built to run the living room. That means a stronger chip. My concept prediction is a 19 class power. Not confirmed. But this is what Ultra should feel like. A chip class with a 6-core CPU, up to a 6-core GPU, and a 16-core neural engine. Now, why does that matter? Not for Netflix. Netflix does not need that. The chip matters for gaming, Apple Intelligence, smarter Siri, faster tvOS, FaceTime on TV, smart home controls, camera feeds, and future Apple features. That is the first buying question. Do you only need streaming? Or do you want a box that can do more? If you only need streaming, skip Ultra. If you want a serious Apple living room device, keep watching. Now let's talk about gaming. This is where the wait or buy decision becomes interesting. Roku is not a real gaming device. Fire TV is not built for serious gaming. Nvidia Shield is better, but it is older now. Apple TV Ultra could be different if Apple gives it the right hardware. For gaming, I would expect at least 8 GB RAM. A stronger version could go to 12 GB RAM. Storage should start at 128 GB. A better version should be 256 GB. And a game edition or Ultra Plus could go 512 GB. Now compare that to Nvidia Shield TV Pro. Shield has 3 GB RAM and 16 GB storage. Apple TV Ultra with 8 GB RAM would have more than 2.5 times more memory. With 128 GB storage, it would have 8 times more storage. With 256 GB, it would have 16 times more storage. That is a real difference. And here is why it matters. Games need space. Apps need space. Apple Arcade needs space. Future AI features may need space. So if you care about Apple Arcade, controller gaming, or gaming on the biggest screen in your house, Apple TV Ultra may be worth waiting for. But if gaming means nothing to you, then this part will not matter. And that is the point of this video. Not everyone should wait. Only the right buyer should wait. Now let's talk about display. A lot of people will ask, will Apple TV Ultra support 8K? Maybe. But honestly, that should not be the main reason to wait. Most people still watch 4K. Most streaming services still focus on 4K. So the better question is can Apple make 4K look better? That is where Apple TV Ultra should focus. It should have 4K HDR, Dolby Vision, HDR10+, high frame rate HDR, HDMI 2.1, better upscaling, better motion, better sports playback, and lower input lag for gaming. Roku and Fire TV already do 4K. So Apple cannot win by only saying 4K. Apple has to win with quality. Smoother motion, cleaner HDR, better colors, lower delay, better gaming response. So if you are buying a box only for basic 4K streaming, you do not need Ultra. But if you care about the best 4K experience, better gaming response, and premium Apple video quality, then waiting makes more sense. Now audio, this is a big one. If you already use HomePod, AirPods, or Apple Music, Apple TV Ultra could be much more valuable. Roku can do Dolby Atmos. Fire TV can do Dolby Atmos. Shield can do Dolby Atmos. But Apple has something different. Apple can connect Dolby Atmos, spatial audio, HomePod, AirPods, iPhone, and Siri together. That creates a cleaner home theater setup. No receiver, no complicated wiring, no extra sound system if you already use HomePods. Imagine this. You sit down. You say, start movie mode. The lights dim. HomePods connect. The movie opens. The audio syncs. Your iPhone becomes the remote. That is where Apple TV Ultra starts to feel premium. So if you already live in the Apple ecosystem, the value goes up. If you do not use Apple devices, the value goes down. That is the buying decision. Now, the biggest reason to wait might not be gaming. It might be Siri and Apple Intelligence. Basic Siri is not enough. If Apple TV Ultra launches with basic Siri, then honestly, it loses a lot of its value. But if Siri gets smarter, the product changes. You should be able to say, find me a thriller under 2 hours. Show me something like this movie, but less dark. Open the game I played yesterday. Show the front door camera. Dim the lights. Move the sound to my HomePods. That is not just voice search. That is control. Fire TV has Alexa. Shield has Google Assistant. Roku has voice search. But Apple TV Ultra could connect Siri with iPhone, HomePod, Apple Watch, AirPods, HomeKit, Matter, and Apple Intelligence. That is the real Apple advantage. Not one feature, the system. So if you are interested in Apple Intelligence inside the home, waiting makes sense. If you do not care about AI or Siri, then Apple TV Ultra may feel overpriced. Now, smart home. This is where I think Apple TV Ultra could become useful every day. Your TV is the biggest screen in your house, so why should it only show shows? Apple TV Ultra could become your home dashboard. Front door camera, lights, locks, doorbell alerts, room temperature, HomePod controls, movie mode, game mode, family profiles, security alerts, all on one screen. That is actually useful. You do not have to open your phone every time. You do not have to ask Siri every time. You can see your home from the couch. That is why Apple TV Ultra could become more than a TV box. It could become the control center of the living room. So if your home already has smart lights, cameras, HomePods, locks, or HomeKit devices, waiting could be smart. If your home is not smart at all, this feature may not matter much. Now price. This is the part that decides everything. My realistic Apple TV Ultra price prediction is 128 GB model, $249. 256 GB model, $299. Game Edition or Ultra Plus, $349. Now, if you look at it as a streaming box, that is expensive. Very expensive. But if you look at it as a living room computer, the price starts to make more sense. For $249, you would not be paying only for Netflix. You would be paying for Apple Silicon, gaming, Apple Intelligence, HomePod audio, smart home control, better 4K, Wi-Fi 7, Siri, FaceTime, AirPlay, and Apple ecosystem support. That is the key. If Apple only gives us a faster streaming box, do not buy it. But if Apple gives us all of this, then Apple TV Ultra becomes interesting. So should you wait? Here is my final answer. Wait for Apple TV Ultra if you care about Apple ecosystem. Gaming, HomePod audio, Apple Intelligence, smarter Siri, smart home control, better 4K quality, AirPlay, FaceTime, long-term performance. But do not wait if you only need Netflix, YouTube basic 4K cheap streaming, simple apps. In that case, Roku or Fire TV will do the job. That is the honest answer. Apple TV Ultra is not for everyone. And that is okay. Ultra products are not supposed to be for everyone. They are for people who want the best version. So if Apple TV Ultra 2026 launches with a 19 class power, 8 GB or 12 GB RAM, 128 GB or 256 GB storage, Wi-Fi 7, Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos, spatial audio, Apple Intelligence, smart home dashboard, and serious Apple Arcade support, then yes, it could be worth waiting for. But if Apple only gives a small chip upgrade and a new name, skip it. Now I want your answer. Comment wait if you would wait for Apple TV Ultra. Comment buy if you would buy another streaming box now. And comment lineup if you want the next video on Apple TV Mini, Pro, Ultra, Game Edition, Echo Edition, and the secret smart home model. If this video helped you decide, hit like. That tells me you want the next part. Subscribe too, because the full lineup video will be uploaded right here on this channel. I'm Zach Stone. This is ZST, and I'll see you in the next one.